Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Amin Parker, and welcome back to the Amin Parker Show here on YouTube. This is a live streaming broadcast. Well, today's show, I want to talk about your ID. We're going to talk about that once again because way too many people is not carrying their IDs when they're in public. Young people, I'm directing this to you because the older generation should know better. But I know a lot of them don't even get it up here. But this is for you younger folks. Maybe your biological dad or your biological mom never explained this to you. But I will. The moment you step out your door, okay, you go outside, make sure you have your ID in your pocket. Especially if you are kokujin. But this can apply to anybody. But especially kokujin dansei. And josei as well. But mostly kokujin dansei should always carry your ID when you are outdoors. Because depending on the neighborhood that you live in, you could find yourself in some deep trouble, or you can find yourself in just a waste of time situation. Let's say you fit the description of someone. And in your head, you know you didn't do nothing wrong. You just find yourself, walking somewhere. Law enforcement comes up and they stop you because you look like someone that they're looking for. And they don't necessarily believe you when you say it's not you. They don't really believe what you're saying because that's just how it goes. They're not going to believe you. So they're going to ask you for your ID. Well, we just need to identify you. Do you have any ID? Any identification on you? Do you have a passport, an ID? Do you have anything like that? And if you say, I don't have anything on me, I don't have my ID, you're only hurting yourself. All you have to do is just subscribe to some of the police YouTube channels because there's just so many police YouTube channels out there. It's ridiculous. It could be the most lucrative and largest genre on YouTube. It could be, I don't know, but it could be. There's so many police videos out there. Lessons of life for you young folks to understand, okay, if I hop into a car and I don't even have my permit or a driver's license, I'm probably going to get in some deep trouble if I get pulled over. I know a lot of young folks want to have a thrill ride and just have a bunch of fun. But a lot of that fun is not good fun. Because you're playing with fire, you're living on the edge. It's dangerous if you don't have your ID. If you have an expired ID, then what you want to do is take care of that ASAP. Okay? If you know your driver's license is expired, you need to take care of that. How are you going to make things happen legally if you don't even have your ID? That's the first step. And look, like I said in the previous video, please don't hop into a car if you don't have a driver's license. Well, look, I'll say this. If you don't have a driver's license and you hop into a car, make sure you're sitting in the passenger seat or in the back seat, but do not get in the driver's seat. Okay? Unless you're sitting in that driver's seat just to warm up the seat while the car is not moving. But you know what? That might even be a crime. I don't 100% know if that is a crime, just sitting in the driver's seat without a license. Because look, everything is becoming a crime. The police is very, very smart. They know how to figure out ways to make almost any little thing a crime in today's time. And look, I don't know all the laws. Each state do their own thing for the most part. A lot of states do their own part, or maybe they pick and choose, they cherry pick, which law they're going to really, really, truly enforce, while maybe other states, they don't really care. Look, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not some kind of politician. I'm not somebody who make these laws. I don't. So the best thing you should do is just play it safe in life. Just play it safe. Don't get into that driver's seat without a driver's license. I mean, it's not worth it. You might get a ticket. Police, law enforcement, they are almost like the parking authority, almost, where you don't know where they are. Especially with the parking authority, you don't know where they're hiding. They're somewhere watching. And if you park your car right there in that space, and you didn't put any money in the meter, you probably think, okay, I'm gonna park here real quick. I'm gonna go into the business and come back out real fast, and hopefully nobody gives me a ticket. You look around and you don't see nobody, but the moment you come out, it's a ticket on your car. You see what I'm saying? Same thing with the police. You don't know where the police officers are. A lot of times they just hide in the cut. They really be hiding in the cut, just watching, okay? They checking how fast cars going. They got great technology. You can't lie your way out of nothing. It's almost impossible. But like I said, here on YouTube, there's so many channels of people getting arrested. They just not making, it just don't make any sense. And the first thing is they don't have their driver's license. That's where they mess up initially. These people always mess up by not having a license. Can't even identify themselves. It's almost like mothers and fathers, they just not teaching their kids. They just not teaching their kids about a driver's license, or even just a regular state license. Because look, if you don't know how to drive, if you don't have a driver's license, okay, that's one thing. But if you don't even have just a regular state license, that's a whole nother thing. It's like, why you don't have that? Now it's like you're walking out into your neighborhood or outdoors completely unequipped. You can be stopped at any time, especially in certain bad neighborhoods in this country. Police, they may be over-policing certain neighborhoods. And if you don't have a license, you are really in deep trouble. The moment you step your foot out the door, you are in so much potential trouble. Listen, if you don't have a license, they're going to take you down to the station because they need to identify you. So you're going to get arrested. You're going to be detained. It could be just momentarily, because if you didn't do the crime, if you know the person that the police is looking for is not you, of course you don't have nothing to really worry about. Sure, you don't have your ID, but you don't really have nothing to worry about, or you shouldn't, because there's bad stories out there of people who really are innocent. They didn't do anything, still getting convicted. We live in a world that's like that. It's just treacherous. You can find yourself getting booked, and it's really not you, and there's no proof. You still have to go to court to prove yourself. You see how crazy this is? So like I said, they'll take you down to the police station. They'll fingerprint you just to find out if you are who you say you are. And what if you are on your way to work, really? Now you're missing hours at work. What if you were going to visit your child who you have visitation rights with, and you're supposed to be at family court with your child during that particular amount of hours? But now that you have to go to the police station over something that you know you didn't do, all you could have showed them was your ID if you had your ID. And then you would have been on your way. I know I'm going on and on here, but I can't stress it enough. Have your ID the moment you walk outside. Now, if you live in the suburbs, that might be a little bit of a different thing because you might not be under a situation where you're being overly policed. Where there's just cops all over the neighborhoods. Like it's just always something happening. So you might not really need your ID just to go outside your front door, to go down to the supermarket real quick to pick something up. You might be okay. I don't advocate doing that though. Just because you live in the suburbs. I still don't advocate that. But you might be all right. But if you live in certain neighborhoods, and we know what neighborhoods I'm talking about. If you live in certain neighborhoods, why don't you have your ID? It's almost like a person is asking to be locked up. They're not saying it out of their mouth, but they're kind of verbalizing it some way, somehow that, hey, I don't have my license. I don't care. I'm gonna go outside anyway. I'm gonna go down the street to the corner store real fast, pick me up something real quick. I don't need my ID. Some people think like this. This is why people get caught up. This is why stuff happens. This right here is why stuff happens between the community and the police department. Why it's always going to be a butting of the heads, because biological mothers and biological fathers are not living in the same home with each other to raise the kids with some knowledge up here so the kids can understand, oh, I can't do this in society, or something bad going to happen. The lessons of life is not being taught. But that's the beauty here of YouTube. You have countless different types of channels, inspirational channels, both men and women giving good advice to the younger boys and girls. You just have to go out and seek it. Well, this is Amin Parker, and until the next video, I'm out. Have a great day.